How's it going, guys? Philip here. Since I got fired from the podcast crew, I've been trying to find something else to do. Got too much free time in my hands, so I decided to revive the YouTube channel. The KSFC YouTube channel is looking a little bit sad. Sitting there, not many subscribers, not much action. We decided to try to revive that. We're gonna try to do different things in the channel, cool videos about coaching, about skills, anything regarding futsal, and also decide to try to interview some people. The only problem with that is not many people want to get interviewed by us, so we decide the only way to get people to interview us is to hijack them. So this segment is going to be called Futsal Hijacked. Hijacked the futsal community, anyone involved in futsal. So be prepared, it could be the next one getting hijacked. It's not going to be that easy to be released as well, so you're going to have to do something to be released. So today it's the first one. We got really lucky. We got Tani Keli from New South Wales. So it's actually not from the local futsal scene, but she's actually from New South Wales, but nationally probably one of the best futsal coaches around. Great player as well, not just a coach but also probably one of the top 3 goalkeepers in Australia for futsal. So we're gonna have a chat to her, find out more about what she's been doing in Italy, what she sees futsal is doing at the moment, and should be lots of fun. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Stay tuned, guys. So let's go and get Tani. Smile, you're on camera already.
Hello? What is this? which one of these seats is for me?
Hey guys, we're here with the first futsal hijacked. So Tani, can you say I've been hijacked?
I've been hijacked. Same. What's my ransom?
And don't worry about that. We're thinking something like nice for you.
Something nice.
But for the first one, I brought some enforcements. So I have my apprentice, Charlie. Say hi, Charlie.
Guys.
Anyway, so we're gonna straight jump into what I want to know, Tani, is I need you to give me 3 songs that you listen to, like new stuff. Like
new stuff?
Yeah, new. Like what's...
Bit of Cardi B.
Yeah.
What about Be Careful? Hey? Be Careful. I know. No, that song. Oh, Be Careful. I'm like, I am being careful.
Like in Copacabana.
Yeah.
That's a bit like
yeah, beach. We're back in South America.
Yeah.
Like the curves, different
Hey. I can't sing, but I just act a bit wiggle with it. It's all good.
Is it your pre-game music?
Yeah, I do a bit of mix of like R&B, hip-hoppy stuff, or
Second song.
Ooh, second song at the moment I've been playing a bit of Keli, had a bit of new stuff at the moment. OTW? A bit of OTW, yeah. Yes, good one.
You have no idea what she's saying.
Yeah, just repeating. I'm just trying to be part of the group.
So what is it?
OTW.
OTW.
But it sounds a bit like...
Is that the name of the song or the...
Yeah, that's a song name.
Song name?
But it's a bit more like...
So it's the same...
Post-games, just chill, relax. Relaxing. It's more of like a... I was going to say, maybe not a You've Been Hijacked, but a good cruising song. Yeah. It's like we're going down like the coast.
So maybe after you've been released?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can like, now you can relax?
Yeah. And the Drake remix of Lemon? Yeah, I've got that. Yeah. I've got that. Yeah, that's my one at the moment. You're just speaking to my personal playlist, Tani. Yeah, that's been a fave of mine the last couple of weeks. But I'm a bit of an everything kind of music. This is a good one. Yeah, a bit of a pre-game. This is a good one, pre-game.
I get it how I live it. I live it how I get it.
Do you like this one, Felipe?
Yeah. Never heard before.
Really? I reckon you need to get it onto Series Futsal pre-game kickoff. Yeah, I reckon. The walkout. The walkout song.
Oh, she's
Did we just get a dust off?
Yeah, you did.
She's
You
even, like, she's trying to be like funny, like so we like have like an easy answer for her. So
Nah, we don't go easy on you.
alright,
Yeah.
cool. Alright, DJ. Yeah, thank you.
DJ Charlie, thank you.
Alright, so I think the first thing I wanna know, Tani, is how did you get involved in futsal?
I got involved when my first little dabble with futsal was at school, high school, but like playing properly and actually being a part of like a club was through my old football coach. They got me to come down and do it as like a bit of pre-season training for the football season.
Yeah. How old were you then?
17.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a while ago now.
Yeah.
But that's a late
ago.
comer to futsal though.
Yeah.
Funny you say that. You know, fun fact. The Iranian chick that Fareshta Karimi, that's the MVP of the AFC Championship, she started when she was 17 or 18 as well. Yeah, they started young, old, sorry to say, not young. But yeah, that was like something that I found out when I was away. That was
So
pretty cool.
was it football pre-season?
Yeah, well, we had our football pre-season happening, but it was an addition, something extra to do in that summer period when, you know, there's nothing happening for football. So, yeah, I fell in love with it. As soon as I played, I had no idea what I was doing. I was very out of my comfort zone, and once I got the hang of it, loved it.
But there was in goals or was on
Yeah,
the field?
I was in goals. Well, I was always a striker up until I was 15, 16, and took a year off football, soccer, when I was doing my year 11, year 12. Just wanted to earn money and study. And then I obviously found the social side of not playing sport and kind of enjoying my time with my school friends. And went back to play just as a muck around with like some family on a weekend, and super unfit, and I was never scared of the ball, so I just jumped in goals. No, I haven't looked back.
So when did you actually stop playing football?
6 years. As soon as F League started, 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you have something really serious, something like to play for, you stop playing.
Yeah, I gave it up with it. Didn't even think about it. Just was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's 6 or 7 years this year.
You know, it's funny you say that, because now that without the F League or the official National League, how many people do you think like went back to outdoor? I mean, there will be a lot of people there.
All of them, or they've, especially in the girls, they've gone and played AFL. They've gone to
other things, not just football, but other things as well.
They've just gone to play something that's
providing high quality competitions.
Yeah. So in
on
Sydney,
a national scale.
Yeah, that's it.
in Sydney, some of the girls have gone back of playing AFL.
AFL.
It's the same that's happening here in Queensland as well. A lot of girls have turned to AFL. A lot of girls that you can see were playing high level football that were making the turn to futsal, and then AFL came through and were providing great programs, great pathways from club level through to national level, and it's just, you know, a credit to the AFL industry, because
Watch out, AFL futsal's coming.
they've got a great model in place, but it's time to bring futsal back.
All right. And so what's your current club?
Current club, playing with Dural Warriors down in Sydney, and playing and coaching. So that's my involvement.
Yeah. So you coach, so play first team and then coach what?
Yeah. So we're going to start trials in June or July. I missed our committee meeting last week because I was overseas, but I'll be looking after the 17 girls.
Yeah.
And
is that the same team in your last season?
yeah, well, some of the girls stay in the age group, some push out. And I was coaching the 15s last year, but Rob Varela's taking those girls from me, and we'll be coaching them. And I will be looking after the women as well.
The women?
Yeah, that's a new one for me. Very new.
That's hard though, isn't it? Like to play and coach.
Yeah, well, I think I'll have the help of one of our men's players.
Yeah.
Who Blake Rosier. He's wanting to get involved and coach. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll have a good balance, and it'll be more training. I'll have a lot more impact.
So you say the trials are in June?
Yeah.
For the season to
start in September, October, November. As soon as football season ends, we're into it.
It's probably
to be honest, I'm probably very unorganised, and I should know these details.
You've been a busy woman.
Yes.
And okay, so since we're talking about like New South Wales Premier League, what did you think about the changes that the federation brought in?
I'm in support of it. They did a review, or we did a review on the leagues and the playing numbers, participation numbers per club, registered numbers I should say, per age group, and what we had found was that some clubs were struggling to field full teams. So what's a full team like? Well, you'd have 10 players registered, or 8 to 10 players registered in the age group for that age group, and they would participate in that age group. And then you might have 1 or 2 players that you're developing that or have the skill set to compete in the next age group up, and they would then be your 11th to 12th player in your next age group, and when you've got injuries or whatever, your next age group up. But what we had found that we had all these clubs, but not the right amount of players to have sustainable age groups. So the quality of the age group games were being kind of jeopardised or putting clubs into positions where they would either, 1, have to forfeit a game, or 2, you needing your junior players to come back and play another game, or stay back and compete 2-3 age groups in a day, which some people might say, yeah, that's great. Other people say, yeah, well, look, you're risking kids of injury, overuse. Are they enjoying it? It can become a dangerous matter, for a safety issue for young kids playing in an older age group, if too far up, I suppose. So they put facts and data together, and people were...
So the numbers were low, basically.
And so, in my opinion, the review, I think they expanded too soon. So what people thought was a good thing back then, and people 2 or 3 seasons of it were used to having that many numbers of clubs, but it probably happened too soon. And the NPL 1 and NPL 2 leagues, there's still gaps in those leagues in terms of playing numbers. It's the girls that really bring the clubs down with playing numbers, not so much the boys.
So do you think that everyone involved does enough to promote the sport, especially like from the I'm talking about more the federation side though? Do they push there enough to the power, like in terms of like endorsing and like talking to the coaches and introducing futsal more into the football community? Well,
it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Whose responsibility is it to get the players, the club or the federation?
The club, but any help from the federation makes a big difference.
Yeah, but and then again, to have more clubs, you got to have more coaches to be coaching futsal, not football. So if you're using football people to fill your futsal clubs, what sport is actually being played on the weekend? Are we playing mini football or are we playing futsal?
Yeah. So if you're saying that is. So what are you saying is how much support the federation does to the club to develop futsal coaches or futsal players? Yeah, also
one thing that I've been ticking around in my head is the affordability of coaching education, and we need to find a way. Being at the moment, there's a bit of the pathway to elite coaching education is there, but it's a stranglehold of access to it by the Football Federation of Australia, not the member federations. So it's not Football Queensland or Football New South Wales, which are limited. They're limited by what the FFA allow us to have access to. I am trying to figure out in my head, and I had chats with the head of football, head of futsal and beach football in Thailand last week, about how can we get access to coach education at a affordable price.
Yeah.
Because
at the moment, is to do like elite coaching.
Yeah.
Is about what, $2,000, something like that.
Yeah, it's like $1,200 for 6 days, and it's too much money.
Yeah.
And
that's only the fee. Plus,
plus if you got to travel to there. If you don't live near where the.
Plus, you got to take a week off work as well. So that if you depending on what you do, it's costing you like a week of wages as well.
And what qualification does that give you?
Gives the AFC. That's an AFC qualification. Yeah. So there's level 1 and level 2.
Yeah, there's 3 levels, plus there's a 1, 2, and 3, and then they've got specific courses for goalkeepers and futsal fitness. They've got level 1s at the moment out for those, with level 2s being written and coordinated with UEFA. And then they're doing a pro diploma. They're writing a pro diploma for futsal as well, like they do with football.
Alright, so since you're talking about coaching, so you just been to Thailand to the women's AFC, so tell us about that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was unreal. So there's 15 countries participating over 4 groups with group stage with quarterfinals, semis, and a final. Mixed.
So it was in Thailand?
Yeah, it was in Bangkok. Yeah, so they used the Bangkok Arena, which was the stadium that they had built for the World Cup, but they didn't use.
They never used it.
Because it wasn't ready yet. And then they used Hallmark, which was where the final was. Yeah.
So they used those 2 venues?
Yep. Yeah, so I was there as the technical analyst group, and so pretty much just watching every single game, all the games. I had a team of assistants with us doing all the data and statistics, so pretty much recording all the players' minutes played, how and when goals were scored, from where on the court they were scored, and then we were looking at system play, formation, and
so you're just basically looking at the tactics.
Yeah.
There's another group there doing the stats.
Yeah, we were all doing that as one group. So yeah, it was technical and tactical. It was pretty much everything that we were.
Yeah. So did you do anything stats?
So for me, I had a team of 6 in my stadium. We alternated stadiums. So one day I was at Hallmark, the next day I was at Bangkok. And my partner, Raja from Lebanon, she had 6 assistants as well. And so we would have 2 doing this enter and exit of players on the courts. So
the time, minutes?
Yeah, minutes played. So one would look after one team, one would look after the other team. Then we had 2 doing individual attack and defense individual attack and defense. So they were recording every time a pass was intercepted, someone was dispossessed, or they dispossessed an opponent, so tackling and winning the ball. Every time someone had a shot, whether it was recorded, whether the shot was saved, hit the post,
so
went out.
Any actions?
Every action.
Any actions in a game, they were all recorded.
Sounds like absolutely every statistic that you could take
so
from that game.
So much detail and concentration.
They break down like a lot.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Was there anything that shocked you from these stats, or anything that stood out to you a lot, in particular with the countries?
So it was super noticeable which teams had football players playing, representing their country. So some of the less experienced or less futsal established countries had football players transitioning over to participate in the championship, which was being in the second year of the tournament. AFC's plan for the tournament was to get as much engagement across the confederations, member associations as possible. So they were open to kind of having they were a bit more laxed on minimum coaching requirements. So usually to coach at a international level, you've got to have a level 2, soon to be level 3 as a national coach. But for this one and for the development of the women's game, they reduced those parameters put in place to allow maximum participation and to really try and drive growth and development in those developing countries. Because without access to tournaments like this, how are you going to grow a league or a player's interest by not having them allowed to participate?
Pretty much invite everyone.
Yeah.
Come into the party, but the next time you've got to bring something better.
Yeah, that's it.
So
they give them 2 years from today onwards to get coaching education, to start developing national leagues, and by then you should be able to meet the requirements, and you'll come back with better players, better coaching staff, and your overall rank and participation should increase, so your results. But so there was a mix. So there was a mix of Southeast Asian countries, the East and Western zones. So you had your Thailand's, your Vietnam's, Japan, Iran, Malaysia, Chinese Taipei, China. Then there was Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. There was Lebanon, Bahrain, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
I was going to say you also had countries like Bangladesh involved as well.
Yeah, so the Bangladesh side was their under-16s national football team with one senior player.
Wow.
So they just participated in one of the football tournaments recently, and they're just in full development mode. They don't really have senior teams. They're starting from the bottom and kind of
so just give the experience.
Yeah, bringing up. One thing that I really was noticeable out of the tournament, that when you're talking about statistics and you start breaking the tournament down, when you start peeling back those superficial layers, was the average playing age of the teams. The best performing teams had some really older players, so mature aged players. So
I'm pretty sure I've seen the stats of Brazil national teams for futsal, and they always have their oldest team on the tournament.
So Iran, their average age was 27.2, with like their goalkeeper, who is by far the best goalkeeper in the region. She's 31. And
is that giving you hope to continue your own personal career?
Well, when I clocked 30 in January, I was like, man, I'm done. Surely I've got to retire soon.
Speaking of your own career and retirement, and speaking of the ages of all these teams and how much participation there was from all these countries, are you shocked that Australia isn't a part of these competitions, these national competitions, when we have so much talent here in Australia?
I was shocked, but you know who was more shocked? The officials of every other team that came up and spoke to me when they found out I was from Australia. And I had the Uzbekistan assistant coach come up to me. I didn't even know he could speak English, and he was like, "Where's Australia?" And I was like, "What?" One, you can speak English, but okay, cool. Okay, we can talk now. I was like, mate, like the federation, there's just no support for futsal. And then he was baffled. Everyone within the AFC is so baffled. The fact that they know we're such a developed country, we're economically strong.
Everyone sees Australia as like this really big thing.
They look at us and go, like, you have everything. Why?
Well, we're a big sporting nation.
Are we currently like is it the women's champions as well for the AFC?
Nah, they lost the final, but still, they're ranked 6th in the world. Like,
So,
and especially the women, you find that as well. The women, I think there's a lot of opportunity for the women to succeed probably further than the men.
Yeah.
In football, the women have shown that with the Matildas, and I think in futsal,
the rank is higher.
It's much higher. And in futsal, I believe strongly that it can be the same.
Yeah. Look, after watching all these games, we have we've got the talent in Australia. We definitely have the talent. We've we've got participation numbers. The issue that we have at the moment is we don't have leagues which are structured in the way for players to be kind of conditioned to play in those conditions. So, you know, not playing stop clock and all that. Like, these girls are fit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Are they?
yeah.
So who was is it Iran?
Iran Japan final?
Yeah.
Yes.
They have national leagues?
Yeah, so Iran is full-blown national league. They've got 2 divisions of national league in the women. They, like I was telling Charlie earlier, the preparation that Iran had going to the tournament, because I was fortunate enough to do an interview one-on-one with the head coach, and they had a year's preparation going to the tournament, and their national league runs obviously full circle. I think it goes 9 months of the year, and they have like a 3-month period where they don't have futsal, but they only play futsal, no football.
Yeah.
And
actually specific futsal players.
yeah, and they did 19 training camps over the space of 12 months, inclusive of their club commitments. And they've got 10 coaching staff, you know, head coach, assistant coaches, goalkeeping coaches, fitness coaches.
So by far the most professional team
yeah.
here, isn't it?
When I asked Shaza, which is the head coach, you know, in terms of the professional, you know, how many of them play professionally, they don't get paid as a professional, but they train as a professional.
Yeah.
That's they get payment, obviously, but they're not on a equivalent of a men's wage of futsal. They definitely the mentality towards the game is they train professionally. Japan have a national league, but it's only been around for the last year. They're going into the second year now. Yeah. And it's called, funnily enough, the F League. You know, they've got the J League for the football, and they've got F League for futsal. Outside of that, they're just regional. They do regional type competitions and tournaments. They're not as developed as Iran.
Who was the semi-finals?
Semi-finals was China, Iran. Yeah. So those 2 play each other, and Thailand and Japan played each other.
So did China surprise you by getting to the finals,
I was really surprised by China. They had a cracking game against Japan in the group stage, and I had never seen China play before, and I think I'd seen them play 3 years ago in the 2015 edition, but they definitely improved, and they really gave it to Japan, and it was 2-2 with 2 minutes left on the clock, 3 minutes left on the clock, stop clock, that's like 6 minutes. Yeah. There was 5 goals in the game in that last 2 minutes.
Wow.
And it was just like edgy seat stuff, and they did the same thing to Iran in the semi. They were up 2-1 at one stage, and it went to 2-2, and then it pushed out to 4-2. But yeah, they really surprised me. But you know, they've got millions and millions of population. So
yeah.
But in saying that, you know, when you look at land mass, they've probably got the same issues that we have. You're not going to get always the best players into one team.
That's true. So what do you think our main issue is in Australia? Do you think it is the federation that's holding futsal back, or do you think it's a combination of everything? Is it culture mixed with that, or is that linked?
I think we've got a few problems. Our land size and cost, and our economy with, you know, cost of travel and all that kind of stuff, that really impacts how we can kind of run our competitions in a cost-effective way. You know, National League, I think, as we've seen, has really only been an East Coast side thing, because the travel across the East Coast is easier than going West Coast to East Coast, or, you know, even Adelaide to Sydney or Canberra. Like, you know, you look at a regional flight for any major city going to Canberra, it's expensive. You know, so maybe we need to relook at how we do our National League. If we get that back up and running, do we have it so that it's the best of each area, then kind of prop into a top 6 type situation? You know how Italy have their they do their final, they'll have like their league, and then they kind of branch into this additional final 8.
So it starts at regional level.
Starts regional level, yeah. I think that possibly is probably an easier way. So then you're getting the elite of the elite when you're hitting the pinnacle. Yeah. So then you actually, it becomes, I really want to be competing in that, and kind of gives clubs
if you want
time
something, if you want something all year round, or like most of the year, it has to be regional.
Yeah, well,
first,
by doing that, it kind of lengthens the competition out as well.
And if you do like over like, let's say 4 days, like finals, maybe something like that, or like, it's not the best way, but it's probably like
it's a stepping stone in getting it
to the next level.
Yeah, and getting the best kind of quality competition out of it in the end as well. I think we've got issues everywhere. There's a lot of opinion without a lot of solution. I'm all about banter and discussion and all that kind of stuff, but if you've got no solution to help fix the problem, your opinion's invalid to me.
You become more of a facts woman.
Yeah,
in your mature age.
Yeah, I'm trying to mature. But yeah, I think offering opinion needs to come with solution, and that's been something that I've learned outside of futsal. That's coming,
especially in this industry where there's a lot of different.
There's different ways to get to different stakeholders.
Any industry is the same.
Yeah. And there is no right way or wrong way to get to the end solution. Some ways will work, some ways won't, and it's but there needs to be your opinion, if it comes with some thought behind it, because if you're offering a solution, it means you've actually thought about the process, and you've genuinely spent some time upstairs thinking about it. It's not an off the cuff comment, or most of the time it's off the cuff comments are emotion driven.
So how do you see the current landscape? How do you see if F-League comes back, serious futsal, like anything else that's out there? How do you see these things fit? Can these things work together? Can they become well,
I think it's the hardest problem with us is getting the stakeholders in one room to try and one common space to flesh out what our long and short term goals are as a community, as a futsal community.
Are we any close to making that happen?
I don't know. There's been.
Are we?
I've been I've been out of the loop, kind of. Just before I got back into it the last couple of months, I'd kind of stepped away from it a little bit, and
this AFC is giving you the bug again.
Yeah, it
put you back in the bubble.
Yeah, it threw me head first
and
back in the bubble.
And now you've been hijacked.
Yeah, and there's I think there is purpose, and I think the pathway that FFA has hold of for us is the right way, but I think there needs to that death grip they've got on it needs to be given to somebody, and because being at that tournament last week, we're missing out.
Yeah.
The players are missing out, the coaches are missing out, the administrators are missing out. There are so many roles within our game, whether you're a manager, a coach, an assistant coach.
You run head team stuff.
Yeah, so that's, and it's not just the player. There are people which, there's so many roles, whether they're the media, every team has a media person, they've got a manager, they've got a physio. Someone that has a passion for futsal is missing. And it's not just the player, it's not just the coaches, it's everyone that's missing out. And then there's I think the coaching pathway is the correct is the right way. There's that creates culture, having but in saying that, I had this conversation. until we have competition or access to these competitions, what is the point of you getting an AFC license? It's not valid to anyone else. You can't use it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't affect, you know, what you coach here, because everyone has their own opinion on whether they can coach or not, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, or whether they've got the processes down or they understand what a coaching process is. You know, so until there's a competition, why should I go get educated as a coach?
Yeah.
If there's, and so then, what if you got no coaches? What are the players?
Do you think that's
players
the
then
struggle
losing?
with the culture? Like is it not the educated coaches and the players that will ignite this fire again with the federation to produce something again, like F League? You know, we've heard all this talk about F League coming back, and I keep seeing posts on Facebook about F League in June, like June,
I don't
June's
know
next
who
month.
keeps sharing these?
I'm not sure what team can get together. Obviously Japan can do it.
Yeah.
What team can get together, have a full squad training in a month and play a national league competition and do really well and do it successfully? So
Yeah.
I think safe to say F League's not coming back in June,
But,
but we need to sit back and reevaluate what
But-
we're all doing ourselves. But if we all take the mindset of, I'm not going to get this qualification because there's nothing to get it for,
Yeah.
or I'm not going to do this and better myself here
But
because there's
even-
nothing to do it for, then I think we're diminishing that culture within ourselves.
Yeah, but you even take it back another notch as well, and who's missing out from not having a national league to referee, but they're losing. they're losing out as well. You know, by us not having a national league. Like I spoke to the head of referees in Thailand, they're not being represented.
So no refs?
There was no Australian ref there because are they getting the practice to then be able to execute? So they need the practice to be able to further their career as a referee.
It's a cycle.
It's a
for everybody
cycle.
involved.
So without a top tier competition, they're not getting practice, which means they're not getting any better. Which means if we're not playing games, they haven't got into referee, so no one can correct them and fix their mistakes.
Yeah.
And we're all on this. We are this one big cog, and without one of them, nothing else is turning.
Yeah, but it's
Or
like,
they're turning by
what-
themselves.
but what I see, like when you made a comment about like F Leagues in June or it's happening, and I asked a question regarding, do you see the community getting together and trying to make a change? And that's what I don't see. The biggest everyone. It's like there's like little groups here and there, and they don't want to share the information for different reasons, because they don't want to be
fine.
yeah, they don't want to lose the control, but they don't want to also say it's gonna happen, it doesn't happen, and they look bad as well. And to me, that's the biggest issue that I have with the whole setup. Is that it's not that people want to have control.
Transparency, though.
Exactly. That's to me is me like, I want something. This is what I want to do. If you want to come to me, let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm all for transparency.
Because you need to have everyone who has a passion for the sport involved in this. Because if you don't have it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I see is this is exactly what happened in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And look where we are, and we're doing exactly the same.
Yeah,
and how can you expect it's gonna be different results? That's to me that.
Well, you're gonna continue to get the same result unless you change it.
So.
It's a definition of insanity.
Yeah.
That's the issue that I have with the whole, because I don't see any difference. I don't see any difference or mentality of shift, or it's just the same old thing. It's gonna happen, like these little groups, and that's it.
Yeah, but how do it's
How do you change it? You're gonna say how you change it?
Yeah, how do you change it? And this is how you go. Do we start it? You have to start at a regional level, I think.
Well, to me, to change, you gotta do something, because once you do something and then it starts doing well, it doesn't matter what you branded. If you do something really well, people want to be part of it. Yeah. And then that's it. And then you do your own things, and then it's gonna come to a point that's gonna get so big and so strong that let's us be part of this.
Yeah.
To me, that's the only way, because I see a lot of it's really hard to take doing the trailblazer, to do the first step, it's really hard to do that. Once it's successful, a lot of people come, I want to be part of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so
you
to
get
me,
the
that's the
knocks
only way. Yeah.
But that's like you know, we only have this tiny amount of Australians that have been exposed to the above out of our shores competitions, but there's so many people within Australia that are doing what they're doing. But how, like you're saying, like when you see something and you want to be involved in that, that's how I feel about the AFC competitions.
Yeah.
I've had a taste for it, and I go, oh my god, if everyone else could see this and be involved in it and look at how it's...
You don't even know what they're missing out. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I said, how many people be involved in any of the AFC tournaments?
Yeah, well, there's people there as a player, but I've been fortunate enough to be involved in the AFF club tournament as a player, be involved in the first AFC tournament as a team official, as a coach, like a goalkeeper coach, and then I was fortunate enough to be involved this time as a part of the delegation. So I've kind of been full circle with the experience, and I just go, every single time hasn't disappointed, and every single time I've gone, I just wish everyone else could experience it, because they should get to experience, or anyone that works hard enough should. And I think there's, again, it just always comes back to the chicken and egg. Who's got to make the move first? What comes first? Is it, do we keep sitting around and wait for somebody to make a decision for us, or do we just make the decision?
No, wait for it.
No, you can't wait for it. You've got to do it, and you've got to. I think the biggest thing is trying to get as many current and modern thinkers in a millennial sense to be involved in decision making. That comes from, I look at all the people that have kind of been upset by the decisions made by New South Wales around the competition, the decisions, but it was kind of like short-term hurt for long-term gain. Reduce those numbers, strengthen the league, make the competition better, so then it's more competitive.
Let's go back to, if you do something really well, people want to be part of it.
Then you grow it.
Expand.
Yeah, but you make sure you pick the right time to expand. And that comes down to how you run your club or how you operate your business. It's culture. So
it takes a long time.
We've taken a tiny baby step try and take a step in the right direction. For the first time ever, I've kind of put my hand up to be involved on a bit more of an administration side, and I've put my hand up, and I'm a part of the New South Wales Futsal Committee now, which is something that I've never done before. And we've got some good people involved now. We've got it's always been a bit of a
Is that a bit of change? Is that a bit of change? Well, fresh winds?
Or it's a slow process. They're limited by how many times you can meet to kind of organise all these different people with different lifestyles into the one room. But we've got a futsal manager that's young and energetic, that wants to do things, but obviously is only has herself to execute things. So you can only, how many hours in a day and days in a week can you work?
How many other things?
Yeah, when you've got schools competitions, league and whatever.
It's a massive,
big job. But then we've got Miles Downey involved.
Yeah.
So played for Australia. He's an AFC elite futsal instructor.
All over the world.
Yeah, he's played in Brazil. So he's involved. He's current. He knows what's happening, and he has a very educated person as well. And then you've got Adrian Tamplin coming from a referee's perspective, that's got current involvement and no personal agendas there, doesn't have kids involved, same as Miles.
Yeah.
There's myself, I don't have any kids playing. It's, I'm a player, but I am a female. I'm trying to get educated with coaching. I've tried to mature a lot more as a player and as a person. And I think more so what I do with work, from my work life, and bringing that kind of management side of my life into futsal and be a bit more organised.
I don't think you should shortchange yourself there either, Taz. I think you're a very, very experienced women's futsal player and influence as well within futsal. So I'm sure you've got a great position in that committee, especially with your new experience with AFC as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have more
If you think about the best coaches in Australia, I'm talking about in general, Tani is definitely top 5.
Oh, 100%.
If you think about the women's only,
definitely.
I think that's the top 10. Tani.
That's it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty confident if we've got a movement going forward for futsal. I'm pretty confident if you're involved in any decisions that are being made or any influences that are going forward. So I don't think you should shortchange yourself there. But it sounds like if you've got a committee together, and something, you've got the right people in a room discussing these issues, talking about these things, and talking about the vision and the culture and trying to move it forward, then that's,
for me, I think
it's a good step in the right direction.
Personally, for me, I think for futsal to develop at a rate that it needs to, there needs to be more meeting. There needs to be more discussion happening. So
You're always going to need more.
Yeah, there's I think that's probably the only thing, in my opinion, that there just needs to be more, and by only limiting yourselves by the time how many times you meet and discuss topics and try to put make sure that you're putting, not just discussing them, that you're making plans to actually do things, and you're executing those. You're coming back to the drawing board the next time we're going to have these being done. You're going to start to see progress. But if you're only meeting twice a year, these are the agenda points this time. You come back, you go, what about that?
You have to revisit the same things again.
And then it's another 6 months and you go, have we moved? And that was something that they brought up, that in previous years, all these meetings that they've been having, we're still talking about the same thing. Well, that makes sense why you are, because you aren't meeting regular enough.
So Tani, this is a hijack.
Yeah.
So for you to be released, you need to pay.
You need to pay your ransom.
What's my ransom?
So the ransom that we're trying to grow social media.
Yeah.
So and the platform that we choose to grow, the numbers are really not that good, is Instagram. So we need
Insta.
Yeah. So
Tani's got a lot of followers on Instagram too. I think we should get a shout out on her page as well.
Probably more than us.
Yeah.
And so we thought about it, your task is to approach someone,
so
like a stranger, and you gotta get the person to like us on Instagram.
So I've got to get you a follower.
Yeah. One more follower for today.
Look, I can be your follower.
Wow.
You don't follow.
Thanks
there
for
you
the
go.
support,
So you're gonna get 2.
You get 2 for the price of 1 today.
Thanks for the support, Tans. What about what about old love up here?
Guys, jump on. Oh, where is it?
There's a cafe here on your left if you wanna. No, they're a bit out of the age bracket.
Yeah. Are you gonna do a pensioners? Over 50s.
Oh, look.
They're little kids though. They're not.
Yeah, that's illegal.
They probably won't have phones. We need to get your car wrapped, I reckon.
Wrapped?
Yeah.
What, in futsal?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like she's young.
Oh, she for sure has Instagram.
There you go.
Are you going to capture this, boss?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Do you play sport? Can I ask you to do me a favour? Do you have Instagram? Do you have Instagram? Yeah. Can you chuck our futsal centre a like?
What is it?
Queensland?
She's been hijacked.
Yeah.
This is to pay her ransom.
Queensland? Yeah. SFC?
We're going to need proof, Hans.
Is that it? That one.
And you just want me to like it?
Yeah. Give us a follow.
Follow us on Instagram. We're growing. Enjoy
You've
us.
gone to the effort of yelling down people on the street.
Yep.
Yeah, this is it. Thank you.
And you'll be on like a little internet podcasty thing as well, I think.
Yeah. What was your name?
Amy.
Thanks, Amy. Amy, you're a gem.
Cheers.
Bouncing around, bouncing.
There we go.
Done.
That's the first follower.
You got 2.
We only need to get another 9,980.
Show this to the screen. Amy has followed QSFC.
Cheers, Amy.
Thanks, Amy, you legend.
Thanks, Amy.
So guys, that's all. That was our first Futsal hijacked video. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope we're gonna be releasing more videos on our YouTube channel really soon. Subscribe, stay tuned, and see you soon.